opportunities are always available. But if your eyes aren't open to the opportunity, then you won't take advantage of it. All right. So there's no such thing as a lack of resources, just a lack of resourcefulness. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Zamots podcast, where we focus on
faith,
family,
fitness,
finances,
and friendships.
Today, we're going to be reading from Romans chapter 8, verses 3 through 4. And it reads, "For what the law was powerless to do, because it was weakened by the flesh, God did by sending his own Son in the likeness of sinful flesh to be a sin offering. And so he condemned sin in the flesh, in order that the righteous requirement of the law might be fully met in us, who do not live according to the flesh, but according to the Spirit." Amen.
Amen.
All right, y'all. So we're going to be reading 4 questions today, 2 questions each from tonight's conversation, the Connecting Couples deck. Okay. So I'll let my bride start off.
Hey, y'all.
And then I'm next.
Okay. What would you like us to do more of in the future? I don't know why I pre-rated. I thought I was going to ask, what would you like us to do more of? Because that was one of the questions. So let me start over. What would you like us to do more of in the future?
What would I like us to do more of in the future? I would say travel and try different foods. Yeah.
Yeah.
What else? I would say do extracurricular activities that we may be afraid of.
I'm not jumping out of the plane with you. I'm not.
It don't just gotta be that.
But that's really the only thing that I would do that I'm like, I'm not doing with you. Okay. That's literally the only thing out of everything else that you want to do.
Yeah, that's one of them.
If I had it my way, I'm not just about to be skipping through Africa, petting lions and petting monkeys and stuff. Like, what do you mean? Those are the type of animals that eat meat. Like, they eat meat. We are meat. Good meat. Like, no.
That is true.
No. I would say try different foods, like different foods, different places. But that's not even us traveling. That's like in Atlanta. It's so many different food spots in Atlanta that you can try that it's like, okay, just do a little sample of something and try it.
Yeah. No, I'm with that. Trying different foods. I'm with it. Yeah. Before I wasn't with it because I was like against
everything.
Yeah, not everything, but like vegetables. Like there's certain vegetables that I just wasn't with it.
Certain vegetables, certain meats.
I'm with it.
Yeah, I'm happy because I'm the type of person, I love trying new foods and like new things and stuff like that. So he's more on trying new things adventure-wise, and I'm more so trying new things like food and experience-wise. Nothing too crazy though.
But now I'm on both sides.
Now he's on both sides. Yeah. So mine would be to try like food places and little restaurants that's here like for our date nights.
I like that. All right, my question is, which 2 traits from each of us do you want our future children to inherit? Well, we have children. So which 2 traits from each of us do you want our children to inherit? So for me, what do you want?
I want my baby to have your eyes.
That's it? That's our song right there.
That's our song. So your eyes, yeah, and they both gotta be physical?
No, neither one of them gotta be physical.
Oh, okay. So I'm gonna say your eyes and then your determination.
Okay, eyes and determination. That's good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say your selflessness and your humility. Yeah.
I will talk
Why
about
your
that.
eyes started to twitch? What's the problem? You ain't like that?
No, I did like that. I was just shocked you said that.
Oh. Okay.
Okay.
What you thought I was gonna say?
I don't know.
I know what she thought I thought.
But no, because we were talking about our children, so I knew you wasn't gonna say that one.
Oh yeah, no.
Okay. Which of my qualities do you think would make me or makes me a great parent? Explain.
Oh man, I just gave the answer. So let me give two different ones. Makes
To
you
this question or to the other
no
question?
to this. Well, I gave the answers to the last question for this question.
Okay.
But it's okay. So qualities that makes you a great parent. I would say you are very nurturing, and you are also very you're very willing. Yeah, you're willing.
Explain.
Oh, explain how you're
Nurturing.
Nurturing.
Mm-hmm.
You just got the mom feel. The mom, even if you didn't have kids, like you would just still have the mom feel, like the mom energy.
Yeah, I always had somebody's child. Like I
Yeah.
told you that growing up in church, like it was so bad that some people would think that the babies were mine.
Yeah.
Because there was a certain baby that I would watch, literally baby, and I would be like full on like mother mode.
Yeah, you got that
They're
energy.
like, your son is so handsome. I'm like, this not my kid.
Not my
I'm
child.
14.
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely got mom energy. And then what was the next one that I said? And then also your I said you're nurturing, and then what was the other one? Nurturing, and I said your willingness. Yeah. You have a willingness to put your children's needs above yours at certain times.
Yeah.
Like when it's required. And I think
like what?
Like if you're hungry and your children haven't ate, you'll feed them before you feed yourself.
Yeah.
And you would excuse our son, he's over there wearing the air out. All right. I don't know if y'all can hear it on the mic, but just in case. Yeah, so you would think that all parents would do that. Yeah. Right? Like
no, because the dads don't do that.
Oh yeah, I don't.
Like they don't. Y'all will make.
We about to eat at the same time. Okay?
Y'all will make y'all play. I will never forget. Let's do a story time. I will never forget how this man just had a day. So let me tell you something. He balances life, but when sports are on and his team is playing, child, you have to tell him what to do and what to say. So we are. Your mom was here at the time too. We're getting ready for dinner or whatever. We just sat the kids up and everything like that. Kids are sitting in their seat, ready for their food, ready for their plate. He fixes his entire plate, sits down, props his phone up, and going in. Like you were going in.
I didn't give him the food?
No. Because me and your mom looked at each other and was like, what the hell?
I got good reasoning.
Oh, yeah. But that was funny. That's just a dad. That's a dad thing. Not saying he do that.
My heart was in the right place.
Yeah, not saying he do that all the time because he don't. He always serves the kids, and then he serves me or serves himself. But
some players mess up too.
Yeah, that's the dad thing. Yeah. I would never do that. Yeah, no, it don't even. I wouldn't be able to process.
It doesn't register. Yeah, that doesn't register
until you be like, I'll fix the kids' place, sit down. Then I'll be all right. Yeah. Anyways, we got to get into the pot.
Hold on, we got one more question.
Oh.
All right. It says if you could write a letter to send to us on the day we became official, what would it say and why?
Well, first I would say when did we become?
Yeah. So I don't know when we became official. We don't have an official date.
When did that happen?
Yeah, we don't have an official date because I never really asked my bride to be my girlfriend because I thought it was childish. We spoke about this before. Yeah. I thought that was just a childish thing. I figured I'd just pull out a ring and say, will you marry me?
See, that would have been wild to me, and I would have had to say no to you. You probably would have been
no, you wouldn't say no.
I probably would have, because I'm like, are we dating, though?
Yeah, we are.
But that was never established.
Yeah, but I don't want to ask you to be my girlfriend. I want to just get right to it.
You know what that remind me of, though? Like, when they're, like, you hear people talk about, like, oh, we were friends for such and such long, for a long period of time. I knew that he was mine. I knew that he was, vice versa. Yeah. And then the dude be like, I never said you were my girl. Whoa.
See, no.
6 years down the line and I wasn't your girl? No.
Yeah, but you kind of get signs, like, in that time frame.
I've seen it. Like,
I wasn't getting
they look like they go together bad. Like, they look like they go together bad.
Yeah, but I wasn't giving you that, though. I was, like, all in.
You wasn't, but a little bit you was.
No pun intended.
Mm-hmm. A little bit you was because you was unsure of what was love really.
Yeah,
Because you kept asking me that, and you was like, well, how do I know? How do I know I love you? And I'm like, if you're questioning if you love me or not, that's how you know you're not in love. You in lust. And we was in lust a little bit at first.
I don't know about all that.
You feel like you was in love from when? From jump?
Yeah, I told you from the first time we had a conversation. When we sat in the car, we had a conversation.
Oh, that conversation.
Yeah, for a really long time.
Yeah.
It was in the car for like 5 hours.
All day.
Yeah.
All night.
Talking. Yep. So it was there.
Yeah.
I'm like, ooh.
Okay, so.
Oh, that's it. That was the last question.
But we didn't even answer
the
question.
Didn't answer.
We went into
attack
mode with the question, honestly, like,
My bad. Oh, let me read it again. It says, if you could write a letter to send to us on the day we became official, what would it say and why? This is for you.
It would say, dear Muffin. Oh. I would say, dear Muffin, we go together real bad right now, and I'm ready to have your kids, and I love you. Are you in or out?
I'm in.
Take care.
So mine would say, dear Darla, I hate your freaking guts. Just kidding. That's a Little Rascals reference if y'all haven't seen it. Yeah. But mine would say, dear Deja Rayanne Treadwell.
Whoa! The whole government out here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dear Deja Rayanne Treadwell. I want to spend the rest of my life with you. I feel like you are my person.
You feel it or you know it?
No, I feel it. Right, it's right in this area right there.
Okay.
Shall we proceed?
Yes.
Yes. That's what the letter would have said, y'all.
Let me check the box.
So we good. We official. All right, we about to get into the pod. All right, family, welcome back to the Zamots pod. I want to read a quote for you all that I got the other day, and it's been on my mind and on my heart, and I think it's very profound. It says, success is the most natural thing in the world. The person who does not succeed has placed himself or herself in opposition to the laws of the universe. That was by Albert Hubbard. Okay, so I stumbled upon this. I was listening to some motivational video, and this quote came about, and it really stuck with me because I believe that is 100% true. I think that success is very natural. If you look at nature, you see, there's abundance in nature, right? Everything flourishes, everything is operating in its purpose. And when you see something in nature that isn't operating in its purpose, it's very abnormal, right? You see a tree that doesn't grow, it's abnormal, right? You see a bird that doesn't fly, it's very abnormal. But for us as humans, because we have, free will and we have the ability to choose, a lot of us aren't able to operate in our purpose or establish success for ourselves in our life because we have these mental strongholds, we have these distractions, we have these limiting beliefs that have been given to us by others. And it really holds us back from doing what it is that we were called to do. So I wanted to ask you, sweetheart, how do you feel, your early life, your childhood, or your adult life, or your young adult life, let's just say teenager, do you feel like that experience of time kind of shaped how you make decisions now? Or do you feel like you've outgrown what you've been through and the experiences that you had, and now you're more so operating from a clean slate? How do you feel?
How do I feel? Hey y'all, again.
This is my bride. Her name is Deja, and she's beautiful.
Thank you, sugar.
Welcome.
You're handsome.
Thanks.
Real bad. Okay, Sophie. I would say yes and no. So yes, I feel like a lot of the ways how I operate is based off of what I experienced during my teenage years. Mm-hmm. But I feel like my young adulthood, like from age 18 to probably like 20
Mm-hmm.
was a time where I was operating based off of that
Mm-hmm.
in like a healing, like in a healing way, but transitioning to age 21 to 24
Mm-hmm.
during the time frame, like I was working on myself even heavier because the way that I was responding to life
Mm-hmm.
was based off of my teenage experience.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a young adult at this point, so I
Mhm.
still can't move and operate how I was moving and operating at that age.
Yeah.
It no longer works. So it required more self work, more just, figuring out, okay, maybe, raising my voice for every single thing is not going to get me what I want.
Mm-hmm.
Or
Mm-hmm.
me just shutting down, being quiet isn't going to get me where I want to be.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever, the young adulthood came in, I'll just say 21 to like 25 or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
I'm in positions to where I'm in management and people are looking up to me. I have to pretty much be the authority. So what worked for me then didn't work at the moment. So then it was another, pretty much like an upgrade. Got like, all right, you got to get better. You got to do better. This isn't going to work.
Right.
But, helps you get through some things at 16 is not the same thing that's going to help you get through some things at 21. So me like, okay, I want a job. I want like consistency. I want to make good money at a young age. Like all these goals that I set for myself, I did exactly that. But I only did that whenever I leveled up in some type of improvement or consistency that I established. So
Yeah.
I say continuously um upgrading in life because what's going to work for us now isn't going to work for us when we're 45.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so it's constant growth, it's constant change, but it's joy in every part of that. Something what I went through as a teenager helped me in becoming a young adult, was helping me in my young adulthood, is going to help me in my later, adulthood. So I appreciate all of it, and I still use bits and pieces from every single, phase in my life because it was crucial and it's what shaped me. Or something happened to make me be like, all right, something got changed. This is not gonna work. Like this isn't working anymore. So
yeah, that's good. I'm curious because life is so interesting. It's like it's simple, but it's also complex.
very
Right?
complex.
And there's certain people that like experience things in their life, and they say that because they experience those things, that's the reason that they are how they are. And then there's other people that experience things in their life, and they say because of those things, this is the reason that I've become who I've become.
Yeah.
Right. So you got the people that are limited by their past, and then you have the people that use their past as a stepping stone, right, to get to that next level. And I don't really know what the difference is. I don't really know what will cause somebody to take their pain and turn it into, success, and versus somebody that takes their pain and just, sulks in it. Yeah. Like I don't really know. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it's their genetic makeup. I don't know.
I don't feel like it's a genetic makeup. It matters like whenever you have asked like at what point, it was some topic that we have discussed on a podcast about at what point like do you give up, or like it had something along the lines of giving up. If you remember, then you can chime in. But you give up. Like when you're working on patience isn't like, oh, patience come to me and blah blah. I got all this time and I can wait, and I'm very this, that, and the third. It comes with someone testing your patience.
Absolutely.
And some people have enough muscle to be able to get through that, and some people just give up.
Yeah.
Like working on yourself isn't something that's easy. Like today in church, he said, like talking about Peter and stuff like that. Was it Peter?
It was Peter.
Yeah. Talking about Peter and him being on a boat and it's 11 disciples on there. That's 11 generations. That's that's somebody that's like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's something that worked for them. But for him, he had to step out on water. He had to step out on faith, and he had to do it despite those that were sitting by him, despite those that pretty much it wasn't broken. So there was no need for him to really step out on water.
Right.
So that's the same thing with self-care and working on yourself. If it was easy, every generation will be a generation of success. It's so many people like, us, we're breaking generation curses and generational things that's been passed on to us by breaking those barriers and being consistent and continuing to do the work on ourselves, even though it's hard. It's not easy. Like, you don't want to be told you. It's very humbling to be beat up by God, like, in the most respectful way. Like, oh, you think you don't stink? Oh, you think you got it all together? Well, here's this so that you can see yourself. Okay, well, here's what I said about this, and that's not how you're acting. So I feel like it's a matter of, one, if it's your will and your purpose to break that generational curse. Like, why are you breaking this generational curse and your brother did it? Why am I breaking certain generational curses and my sister did it?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, it's a matter of, if you have that strength, if you have that momentum, if you have that faith in God, ultimately it boils down to that, to go for him to pull it out of you, because it's nothing but generations being disobedient. Like, God could have did it through your brother, but he didn't listen. I'm just using that as an example. He could have did it through my sister, but she didn't listen. So now it's rolling over to you, and you know what's going to happen if we don't do it? Our children will have to do it.
Absolutely.
And that's what you don't want when you're a parent and you're trying to tear some stuff out of the way so that they can have a straight path, or at least easier than what you had and in past generations had.
That's good. Yeah, I think Jim Rohn, he's a motivational speaker. He said, um, you know, there's some things in life that we don't really understand, and to spend any time thinking about it or dwelling on it and trying to figure it out is a waste of time, right? Like, trying to figure out why the sky is blue is a waste of time. Trying to figure out why the sun rises in the east is a waste of time, right? Does it rise in the east or in the west?
I mean, we could Google search it, and it's gonna come up with seven different theories.
No, I think it rises in the east and sets in the west. Anyway, trying to figure out why things in life are the way they are, things that you really can't get an answer for, is a waste of time. But this is just one of those things that I've been thinking about. Like, why, what is it that would cause somebody to take their pain and take it to the next level, right? And just go out and achieve massive success, and then other people that have their pain and it's just they're burdened by it, you know what I mean, and they can't get out of their own way. That's one of those things where it's just, I'm curious to know, but I know it's a waste of time to think about it. Right. Anyway,
rise in the east and sets in the west.
Rise in the east and sets in the west. Okay, so the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. Why? That's just the way it was set up.
That's just the way.
I don't know. That's just the way it is. So anyway, that being said, I think a lot of us as humans, we have a hard time in life because we're all on a search for purpose, right? Our purpose, what's the reason for us being here? Like, out of 500 trillion cells, we're the ones that made it. 500 billion, no, 500 trillion. Yeah, 500 trillion cells. Like, we're the one that made it. Sperms, we're the ones that made it, right? We were chosen, and it's like, why did I come here? What's my path? What am I supposed to be doing? What am I supposed to be contributing? Which is a question that we all want to know. So, what's your question, sweetheart?
I know I should just start typing my question. Lord. you say something else, and then another thing pop up in my mind. Just little imagery, like, the sperm cells swimming. You know how they swim.
Yeah.
What's my purpose? What I gotta do? That's what popped up in my head when you did that. That's my sorry.
You're childish.
Okay. Do you feel like that we as humans? Do you feel like we have unlimited chances to reach our purpose?
Unlimited chances?
Yes.
No, because we live a finite life.
Well, I'm saying, while we are living, do you feel like that we have all this time in the world to fulfill our purpose?
No, I wouldn't say we have all the time in the world to fulfill our purpose.
Or opportunities.
We have all the opportunities in the world to fulfill.
Yeah.
I'll say opportunities will continue to present themselves, and opportunities are always available. Let me say that. Opportunities are always available. But if your eyes aren't open to the opportunity, then you won't take advantage of it. All right. So there's no such thing as a lack of resources, just a lack of resourcefulness, right? Like, we have to use the faculties of our mind, and we have to use the things that we've been blessed with, like faith, right? And the ability to think, the ability to reason, the ability to take action. Like, all of those things are a blessing. We have to use those things in order to achieve what it is that we want to achieve or fulfill our purpose.
Mm-hmm.
But if we're not open to using those faculties, right, and we're not open to change and we're not open to growth, then we won't ever achieve our purpose. And we'll go 60, 70, 80 years and live this life, probably impacting some people in some way, but not necessarily becoming who you were supposed to become and achieving what you were supposed to achieve. I struggle with this because, like, in my mind, I like to think that everybody that has ever been born has fulfilled their purpose.
Oh, no.
I don't like to believe that there have been people that have been born that were supposed to do something and they didn't do it. I struggle with that because in on one hand I'm like, the reason that that person is the way that person is and they refuse to change is because that's who that person is supposed to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's like, no, that person can actually change and that person can do something. But it's like, if they could change or if they had the willingness and the ability to change, they would do it.
Yeah.
And they don't. So that means that's who they're supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's a struggle, right? It's like
that's a big thing because it's kind of like walking on the line of whatever is meant to happen will happen.
Right. There we
and
go.
also the
Yeah.
saying you have all this time in the world, and then it's also the saying to where it's just don't miss that moment, because it is times where God opens certain doors, and when you don't walk into it, or when you're doing stuff that you're not supposed to be doing, that is not of God, it delays where you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it is a matter of you listening and doing what God says to do,
for
because
sure.
He is a God of justice. Like,
Yeah.
He has things in place. There's systems in place that what certain things that we're supposed to do, how we're supposed to act, how we're supposed to talk, how we're supposed to treat one another, in line, in place. And a lot of us ignore it and don't listen to it. And then you're still thinking in your mind, okay, here's the next saying of, I have all this time in the world. Well, you don't. You have a certain bracket and a certain time frame before God is saying, okay, you're just being disobedient. You don't want what I have for you, and it's shut, it's closed. Like, that's done for. You get what I'm saying? And then it's along the lines of, I can do all things. You get what I'm saying? Acts of God is the reason why you don't have the things that God says that you can have. But it's all a matter of, okay, yes, God says you can have all these things, but He also says that you need to love your neighbor, and you're not being loving to your neighbor. That's a part of the process and a part of your purpose. If you don't do the things that you're supposed to do, like, it's a bargain. If you don't do what you're supposed to do, what God tells you to do, then you're not going to reach your purpose and fulfillment.
That's correct.
You're in the place of poverty, or you're in a place of unfulfillment, because you didn't do what God told you that needed to be done. So yes, everything happens for a reason. Yes, what you're doing in life is what you're meant to do, but are you meant to do it because that's what God said that you were meant to do, and you did what God told you to do, and you reached that purpose? Or are you settling? Yeah. Are you settling and you're not getting everything that you're supposed to have because you refuse to operate out of love? You refuse to forgive those people that hurt you. Like, you're not going to reach that purpose if you're holding on to things that God tells you not to, or you just simply haven't done what He told you to do. So
yeah, I get this image in my head of, like, dying and come meeting face to face with God, right? And then God shows you the life that you live, and then God shows you the life that you were supposed to live if you became who you were supposed to become, right? If you got rid of those limiting beliefs, if you got rid of the doubts, the fear, the worries, seeing both of those pictures and seeing both of those visions of what your life could have been or what your life actually was. Excuse you. It's
that's how the hell
it's a little scary to think about. So I wanted to read a verse real quick before we end off here. It says, this is Joshua chapter 1, verse 8. It says, this book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success. Now, I don't know how many times success is written in the Bible. I don't know. It's probably not many. But this is one of the first verses I believe that I saw where success was written in the Bible, and it says there's a precondition for the success, and the precondition is to meditate on the word day and night, right? Now that doesn't mean you reading the Bible all day every day, right? Obviously that's not what it means. But it does mean that the verses that you do read or the scripture that you do read, to write it on the tablet of your heart, make sure that you're internalizing it and then living it out, right? And as you do that, you become the word, right? And as you become the word, right, the scripture says that the word became flesh and dwelt among us, right? So you become that word and you live what the word is preaching, and then you will make your way prosperous, right? It's inevitable. But there's some things that you got to let go. There's some fears that you got to let go. There's some people that you got to forgive. There's some things that we have to do in order for this to be fulfilled. So, that being said, I'm done. Is there anything else that you would like to say, sweetheart?
I'm done.
She's done. Okay. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. We preaching to ourselves as much as we're preaching to y'all.
Yeah.
Or teaching, however it may come off. So we appreciate the love, the support, like, comment, subscribe.
Turn on your post
share.
notifications so that you can be notified every single time that we
That
post.
part.
And follow us on our social media accounts.
That part. All right, we love y'all. Let love fill your hearts, family.
Peace and blessings. Bye.